Okay, this is Old Camp.
And this is not a spring chick. Oh.
And we're in our never-ending. Okay, what happened was earlier this week they changed the date that Easter actually happened on, and basically we've got like this much material now out about how they got to the original idea. And like
there's a lot of new information on Easter this year.
Oh God, a lot of information. I'm editing as fast as I can go because it's in Hebrew and it's in German, and you know I can't.
Actually, we're looking at Hebrew and German on the computer.
I'm looking at Hebrew and German, trying to translate stuff, but
here's some of the changes, and this actually continues from what we had done, and actually what we've done yesterday.
Yeah, that's why if you happen to see a different T-shirt and a different.
Actually, I wore the same swimsuit.
Yeah, I got a different shirt on, actually. It's black, but it's a different shirt so it is a continuation because actually yesterday we actually did it once, and basically we use media on the computer, corrupted. Yeah, we lost the whole thing, had to start over again. So we start off this like from yesterday. Because of the dissatisfaction with the lights on the Jewish calendar, some Christians began to experiment with independent computations of when Easter was. Remember from yesterday, Easter Sunday is a religious thing. It's not actually Easter Sunday. It is technically Easter. You know, it's like following the Passover. It's Easter. It could be any day of the week. Good Friday is basically situated there, but it could be Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That really has no relevance to anything. Mm-hmm. But people seem that they do it on Sunday because they figure that they can, people going to church and something on Sundays. The Jews basically don't like Easter Sunday for a simple reason. Because their holy day is Saturday. Oh. So it's Easter Sunday is more or less a Christian thing, not a Jew thing, because Jews would never have a religious holiday on a Sunday.
Why not?
Because their religious day is Saturday.
Oh.
And the Jews basically being, okay, I can tell you, since half of my family are Jews, that basically they can reach into their pockets and they can tell you the date on the coin you picked up by doing this. So, do you think that they would spend money to go to 2 straight holidays in a row? No. That's why Jews are always business people. So, basically, what do we got? We got suggestions that Christians may have had to maintain a custom of consulting the Jewish community in order to determine what Easter really was supposed to be. I love that.
Well, because it's a Christian holiday, not a Jewish holiday. So why are they consulting the Jewish people?
Because it was a Jew that got killed to cause the holiday, and it was on there was no Christian calendar at that time. There was a Jewish calendar. So therefore, I mean, and then what happens, you want to screw it up even more, the calendar we use today is from the Byzantine Empire. We basically thank the Muslims for giving us the calendar that we use. Oh. And it basically doesn't really fit into the Jewish or Christian ideas of when things were. So that's why the guy basically, earlier was it, we were doing this, when he calculated, he basically used where the sun and everything was at the time, and where history says everything was. And I watched it last night on television. How they really did that. I mean, they spent like 2 hours on one of the educational channels explaining how they got to this point. And it was a real pain in the butt. You know, they had to go back over thousands of years of history and find out where everything was in relation to it. And they can nail you on exact date now where something happened by the stars up, the position of stars in the skies, because astronomers basically are very faithful about noting everything, and they've noted it for 4,000 or 5,000 years.
Wow!
You can go to China and find out when the date of something happened because of star maps.
Interesting.
Yeah.
If it was a correct star map.
Well, no, but they put them up against other star maps. What happened too? In history, they'll take, I saw it last night, they had a thing, on the back end of Jewish burial things, they had stars, where the stars were in the heavens. And that's how they knew when the person died exactly, is where the stars were in the heavens. So what they did is they found things, supposedly, one of the things was they found when Jesus was supposedly died, they had star maps on things on the same date, supposedly. The star maps of when he was supposedly died, and the star and what the date was didn't correspond to the star maps on the people. You know, simple thing like a star map. Okay, anybody watch Stargate? You know, SG-1, because they all work off of star maps. They go everywhere in the cruddy universe off a star map. It is neat. So I know, basically, I didn't go through all of this stuff. But here we got this one. Historians have argued that mid-4th century Roman authorities, in an attempt to enforce the Nicene decision on Easter, attempted to interfere with the Jewish calendar. Yeah, like they haven't, like they weren't throwing them to the lions and tigers before, and hanging them, burning them on stakes. Other than that, so they wouldn't interfere with the Jews, would they? The theory was developed by a lead Jew and repeated by a Muslim, and another Muslim, Ben I Sassoon. I think that's a Muslim.
That's a Muslim, Ben Sassoon?
Yeah, Ben I Sassoon. Ben I. You know,
I'm thinking of like hair products.
Yeah, no, this is Ben I. Ben I would be, you know, Muslim. This view reflects it has no support that absolutely no. Remember, this is Romans and this is Muslims. That there was no attempt by the Christians to change the date. They would not interfere with the Jewish practice of customs of worship.
Really?
That would not happen.
Is he being satirical?
I know, he's satirical. Like Roman, I said, the Roman historian Proprius in a secret society claims that the Emperor Justinian, you know, attempted to interfere with the Jewish calendar in the 6th century, and a modern writer has suggested this may have been directed against the Jews. However, none of the Justinian's surviving edicts dealing with the Jewish matters is explicitly directed against it. It's just sort of, you know, they do it under the table. You know, I would, you know, they don't really, I don't really care what happens. I would really like it if Easter was this day and not this day, if you adhere to the Christian calendar and not the Jewish calendar. But just because I'm emperor doesn't mean that you have to do anything I suggest. Yeah, just like Obama saying, you know, I'd really like to see that those people wiped off the face of this earth, but it wouldn't be right for me to give an order. Yeah.
Yeah. But see, you know, Easter is one of those things that changes every year. Like Christmas, they always celebrate it, what is it? It's December 25th.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving is always, what, the last Thursday or third Thursday?
I think it's the last...
or third Thursday.
Third Thursday of the month.
Yeah.
Even if it's not on the 25th.
Yeah.
And you can't do the 25th all the time, but like here's when, you know, gets further, as we get further along, Easter and other holidays related to it are movable feasts.
I love it.
In that they do not fall on a fixed date in the Gregorian or Julian calendars.
In other words, we'll change it for the convenience of a weekend.
Yes. You know,
right?
Basically, so it basically can, it can fall on almost any date you want. It's not, you know, okay, here they're putting out.
Yeah, but how do they decide it?
By the solar and lunar calendars.
Because I know, like, for most people, it's like you look at the calendar, it tells you what day Easter is. And it's like, oh, Easter's late this year, it's early this year.
Yeah, it can't really be late or early, but it is a movable feast. They're explaining how they got the thing. I mean, you should actually go look at this thing. If actually I could let you have it, but I can't because this is proprietary stuff. Basically, here it is. Eastern Christianity bases its calculation on the Julian calendar due to the 13-day difference between the calendars between 1900 and 2099 during the 21st century, the third, and so forth and so forth. Basically, you can bounce between the 4th of April and the 8th of May for between 1900 and 2099. Easter can become between the 4th of April and May the 8th.
Wow.
Yeah, that's sort of a great big jump.
Wait a minute. The 4th of April and May the 8th? That's really late.
Okay, basically, the Julian calendar is no longer used as a civil calendar in these countries, though. So they basically went to the Gregorian calendar, which basically fixes it more sometime like the third Sunday the third Sunday in April. But then again, it could be the fourth Sunday also.
For most of us, it's just whenever the calendar says.
Yeah, oh, you got it. Okay, here's it. We got to the first council of Nicaea in 325 who decided all Christian churches would celebrate Easter on the same day.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, we computed independently of any Jewish calculations as to when the time actually placed and which day would be set by the Pope. So, yeah, which meant they could have set it on the 24th of December. You got to remember, Easter is actually a thing, and it has more to do with pagan orgies than it does celebrating the life or death of somebody.
Well, you know, it's almost like two different celebrations.
I know.
Because Easter, right, from the goddess Esther,
Yeah.
right, it had to do with springtime.
Springtime,
Right?
and eggs, which I do not understand. Okay, we'll put it.
Eggs is the birth, or fertility.
Fertility, yeah. So.
Okay, springtime is the...
Okay.
So if you think about it like that, that is a pagan holiday. But if
Yeah.
if it's Christ's death and rising, then that's the Christian holiday.
Yeah.
So they basically merge the two of them together.
Oh, they take a little bit. This is what you're going to find out on holidays. Because we've been doing this
Just
so
like they
long.
do for Christmas, right?
They take a little bit from here, a little bit from there. If it's something naughty they all like, they all put it together.
It's called commercialism.
Yeah, it's how they make lots of money. They sell lots of things on these days because their Passover food, you know, like we talk about, we like to go for. Everybody is selling fish sandwiches at the moment, but the best fish deal is over at McDonald's. But you got to find the right McDonald's, so that's the whole trick. But we got early Christians in Britain and Ireland used the late 3rd century Roman 84-year cycle to decide where Easter was. There were 84. This was replaced by the Alexandrian method in the 7th and 8th centuries. Churches in Western used the Roman method until the 8th century during the reign of Charlemagne the Great. Yeah, Charlemagne, that's where my friend's family became, you know, the Zollens became the Hohenzollerns. That's how so, folks. So, actually, like the churches, depending upon where you're at, since 1582, the Catholic Church adopted the Gregorian calendar, which is no longer used, but they continue to use it. While the Eastern Orthodox and North Oriental Orthodox retain the Julian calendar, and which Easter is celebrated has again on a date which basically fluctuates. God, this is really ridiculous.
There's a lot of going back and forth. I mean, part of it is it's just one of the, how should we say, for Christianity, it's one of the main reasons for the formation of the religion. Okay, you either have the birth of Christ or the death and the rising of Christ.
Yeah, but
right?
no, everybody, I mean...
But they're the two major holidays, so there's always going to be a lot of contention about the celebration. Although they don't sit there and, like,
I know.
Christmas, which is always December 25th. They don't, that's
well, because it's a commercial holiday and they manage to set that. But the problem is that you have multiple religions celebrating Easter. We have Greek Orthodox, we have the Jewish religion, we have the Christian religion. And we also have the Hasidic Jewish religion. You know, basically everybody celebrates it at their own bloody time, it looks like. So, so you know, jumping way ahead, you know, in this mess, the actual calculation of the date of Easter are somewhat complicated. I think after all of this, after we've been doing this for like 40 minutes, you haven't figured out it's complicated? Yeah.
Have we been really talking about the date of Easter for 40 minutes?
Oh yeah, there's 29 minutes yesterday and about 10, 11 minutes so far today.
Okay, move on to the next.
Yeah, but Easter determined on the basis of lunar cycles, you know. Basically, the lunar year consists of 30-day and 29-day lunar months, and so unfortunately some months are 31 days and some months are 28 days, so therefore
February.
You're screwed up. Basically, according to the Gregorian, Easter can fall on 35 possible days between March the 22nd and 35th, and it will do. It last fell on March 22nd in 1818, but in 2285 it will do it again. It fell on. Oh, I didn't realize this one. Did you remember that on March 23rd in 2008 was Easter?
No.
Basically, okay. It will fall on April 24th, just one day before this latest possible date, and that's this week, folks. That's when the month that I thought Easter came late because
it is.
There is no
possible date.
April
24th.
That's why it doesn't make a hell of a lot of difference if the guy said, well, It's the date of the crucifixion was actually, or the rising from, I don't know which one. The date was actually Saturday, not Sunday.
Well, this is almost the latest, because the latest possible date is April 25th.
Yeah.
And this year it's on April 24th, so it's almost.
Ooh. Okay. Oh, the cycle of Easter dates repeat after exactly 5,700,000 years. You get a repeat of the cycle again. I mean, well, she will definitely be not a spring chick when that happens. Here
how did I do that? I put you up right to the top of the page.
She jumped all the way. She basically, she thinks I'm getting too sarcastic, so I'm getting back down to let me see, movable light. I gotta find everything. Okay, I know, find something.
I know, because part of it is I press the button.
Oh, here we got.
That is like pushing it down just a little bit further, because this is not my computer.
It's my computer.
And the touch is a little bit different.
Yeah, it's just basically, it's got to do with the fact that God only knows. Let's see. We're just going to give you some Easter ceremonies and stuff about the lighting of the candle, the illumination, basic. Oh, actually, we got something. We moved up to, by jumping 3 pages, I moved to 1923.
What?
Well, I took 500 years off, because when you jump it like that, you went back to the early days, and then I took about 500 years. Actually, I took 1,400 years off the calendar, so I don't think you wanted to hear any more about how they get to the calculation.
No, let's just go on to the next one.
So,
since we already know it's almost the latest.
Basically, the Orthodox Congress of Eastern Orthodox Bishops met in Istanbul, which used to be Constantinople, which was the head of where the Holy Roman Emperor was basically stuck at until
Constantine.
Charlemagne the Great basically, became the first of the big shots. But oh God, I got to get back to that. They decided to revise the calendar in 1923 and change the dates again. So we got astronomical Easter. Boy, this is really a beaut. Actually, I removed the table of dates for the thing. Actually, I should have probably left that. Church year and when. Okay, here we got something. I have Western Christianity now. Here we go. But this is a good one. In Western Christianity, Easter marks the end of Lent. Actually, that was on the first page too. I distinctly remember 17 pages ago it was starting the whole thing off. I think they're winding it down. This is 26 pages long, so when we do things to let you know, because we actually do have a study in front of us. So, with all the little bookmarks, which I
know, like 26 pages of Easter.
Yeah, and Lent is a period of fasting and penance in preparation for Easter, which begins on Ash Wednesday and lasts for 40 days, not counting Sundays. Well, I blew that. But then I'm neither Catholic or Jew. I'm a Lutheran, so, but she's a Catholic. She's been a naughty girl.
Why?
Have you been celebrating Lent for nearly 40 days?
Yeah, I go and have fish Fridays.
Yeah, well, I go have fish Fridays too, because I like to fish. Okay, every Friday I became a good Catholic or Jew. Whichever it is, I become those days. So, but put it this way: on Hanukkah, I would become a good Jew, and then I'd be a Christian.
Some of the kids, some of the happiest kids, they celebrate both because they get all the eating holidays.
That's just the way it works, because in my family, because they're Jews, because we got Jews and Lutherans intermixed. That everybody would celebrate both holidays.
They were happy.
Oh, you get all the good stuff for Hanukkah, which is all the good foods, all the things you're not permitted to eat. Yes, but Mommy, I know that I'm not supposed to eat that sweet stuff, but we would offend, Daddy if we didn't. Oh, that's right, your father is But basically, there was not a lot of love between the Lutherans and the Jews in my family. It wasn't, still is. Because the Lutherans used to kill them, folks. They spent like a whole war trying to get rid of their relatives. And I always found it to be funny was that the guys who were doing the killing were Adolf Alois, which was a Jew, that's Hitler, Adolf Eichmann, Himmler, Goebbels, they're all Jews. Yeah, that's a good one. There you go, what we got? Then Sunday before Easter is Palm Sunday. The last 3 days before Easter are Monday, Thursday, and Holy Thursday, Good Friday, and Holy Saturday, sometimes referred to Silent Saturday. This is what, when she had her throat problem. For all of you people out there that don't know by now she had a throat problem, her family will tell you about it. And a family doctor. You know, you want to know about breaking the Hippocratic Oath, which is sort of tied with all of that. Remember, her family basically is telling everybody under the sun, you know, I buy for that medical license. I'd be vindictive before Easter. Yeah. You know. Okay. Friday respectively commemorates Jesus' entry into Jerusalem, the Last Supper of Crucifixion. Holy Thursday and Good Friday and Holy Saturday sometimes refers to Easter, Triduum, Latin for 3 days. I even do Latin, folks. You're going to see. They actually taught us to read and all of this stuff when I went to college and when I went to high school. I had to learn languages. The only language I really didn't learn was Spanish because there were not a lot of Latin people in Los Angeles when I was growing up. There was a lot of Germans and a lot of French, but not a lot of Latins. I did know Leo Carrillo. So I'm bad. Am I taking this seriously? No. I have a degree in history too, folks. In some countries, Easter lasts 2 days, with a second called Easter Monday. It's like if you haven't learned by now that Easter is a day, it's not a day of the week, it's Easter. Where we keep doing this thing. I mean, she really thinks I'm being facetious, which means I don't take it seriously for all those people that actually went to college. The day before Easter is probably called Holy Saturday. Many churches begin celebrating Easter later in the evening. Actually, I do know that because I mean
we call it Easter Saturday.
Yeah.
Or Easter Sunday.
Because we would go. Okay, it's like the Catholic Church does. Late, I guess, after midnight, they hold their, you know, which is still basically Saturday. They start holding their masses. I mean, I went to Catholic, but the Lutheran Church would basically, you would come in on the evening before, and you'd go there and you'd do your little, basically it was a good way to eat lots of good food. So we'd come in, eat well, you know, the parents would all drink too much, and then we'd go home, and the Easter Bunny would show up the next morning with those eggs that became deviled eggs later in the afternoon. So actually most of our Easter egg hunts were on Saturday, never on Sunday, because we were busy at home on Sunday. So you realize that most Easter egg hunts are never held on Sunday?
Really?
No.
Oh yeah, they do them ahead of time so the families can celebrate on Easter Sunday.
That's right, I didn't even think about that.
Unless it's part of the Easter celebration with the family.
See, even though I've been around for a god of a long time, even I can learn something. So, basically what we got, actually this is the thing, begins the midnight office, basically with the last service. You know, that's when they start, you know, because Saturday night around the world at midnight on Rome time, you'll start seeing everybody out there in the big square waiting for the Pope to come out, and basically, well, they used to do it differently, but they no longer do that. They would bring their wheaten out, and they'd hold the wheaten up, and the wheaten would then lift the leg up, and then they spread holy water. No, they didn't do that. I'm not bad. God, this is thing, you know. I actually looked at this basically about the thing. Oh, here we're going to do something else for all of you folks out there. We're actually getting off of Easter Day and how it was done. We're now going to get into, I've only got 7 more pages to go.
Celebrating Easter.
Yeah, I mean, are we long?
Actually, the party at Trafalgar Square, right?
Yeah.
We're doing that party. Is it more because it's an Easter celebration, or is it more because of William and Kate? Because you said they do it every year.
Yeah, it's more of an Easter thing.
Yeah.
Because the British are not Catholics. They're the Church of England, and the Church of England basically had to do everything just a little bit off from everybody else. And because Henry VIII didn't like the Catholic Church, so he created his own church. So remember Thomas More and all of those people that, you know, Becket, they all got killed because they became